Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 where we are so close. We only need another 4 settlements conquered to pick up our long victory achievement, which will give us some extra magic to work with. And then both of these, they're so nearly dead. Well, I mean, they've been dead for, you know what I mean. So we still need to pick up Gisaru, and then Eilhart and Altdorf are the only settlements remaining to this faction, right? Vampire, how do you spell vampire? Here we go, 3, yeah, so it's just those 3. And then the Caravan of the Black Roses only has 2 settlements left, which in theory is pretty easy to deal with, but gosh, they got a lot of bodies over there. That's a problem we're going to have to deal with in a second. For the moment, let's refocus. We probably don't need Aranessa to do anything here, right? We could just leave this to Pete. Oh, this isn't even an army. They're in such bad shape.
I will not.
Yeah, okay. Pete's got this one on lockdown. No big deal. Let's just burn this shit to the ground and then get moving. Well, you know, you eventually get moving, because, of course, we are sadly going to have to sit here for an entire turn. It's true, Pete Wakefield has raised multiple settlements. Alright, so that's easy enough. Aranessa is more or less at full sprint.
No straggling.
Wow, we really don't get a lot of extra movement out of March mode, do we? And I do want to let my Colossus. Why can I never remember that word? I do want to let my Colossus finish healing up. So let's just get back in Helmgart territory. Actually, where does it stop being Helmgart? We can move all the way to the edge of our normal movement here. I guess, well, we may as well march. Just make sure we stop right at the edge here. So Eilhart and Altdorf look to be basically undefended.
Shadow.
And Bellicor is at war with them. So actually Bellicor may take care of Altdorf for us. Eilhart has a 14 unit garrison with no walls. Like, yeah, this is basically done. All right, who's next? Henrietta. This is not the right number of army flags. What are we actually looking at here? So, 5 units of zombies, obviously a little soft in that way. But they have a Terrorgeist and a Vargulf. They have 3 units of Grave Guard backed up by 2 units of Cairn Wraiths. Cavalry, Hex Wraiths are just ghost cavalry. I'm wondering if there's an ambusher here. Because as I remember it, we didn't see anybody retreat. Right? There were definitely either 3 or... It was 4 armies forward, right? When they attacked us. And I don't think we saw anybody back up. These armies couldn't be backed up because they're in muster mode. They wouldn't have had enough movement. I think there might be ambushers. I'm going to fall back. Perhaps this is cowardice. But yeah, we can get into the water here and then just make it over to... This is why we like to capture a port, right? And then what I would really like to do is try to go into ambush mode here and do that thing we usually do. I'm guessing it's not going to work because you cannot go into ambush mode when you are within sight of another player's army, and Miao Ying being right here is actually going to be a huge problem. So the edge of our cities, let's try to go like to the very edge of the city reinforcement area. Am I too close to her? I am. Actually, you can't adopt the stance when you're in view of another player's army. Can I move back into... Well, no, I cannot move back into their view because I ran out of movement. But I'm wondering if I'm sure you can just adopt it outside and then move back in. It's just being inside of another player gives someone an extra chance to reveal you, which is inconvenient, obviously. Actually, a little worried about this. I don't know if we would reinforce here? I hope so. And we're sitting on 150,000 gold. Do we want to start recruiting another army here? Like, we'd end up very negative, but even if we recruited a real, like a full strength extra army, it would take like 20 turns, assuming we have no incomes at all, to burn out our stash. I think maybe let's do that. So do we have any of the kind of army, or the kind of lord that gets bonus recruit ranks? Oh, lore of vampires. These are both fire starters. Y'all are both smugglers, which is not ideal here. I would really prefer somebody from one of those things. Although here we do have an instigator. Okay, so it looks like we're maybe taking on Robbie Rogers here. It's annoying that that's the only one we could get, but you know, honestly, it might matter.
Admiral of the fleet. Admiral of the fleet.
All right, get inside here. Take Route Marcher and a bunch of magics. What else do we want? Doom and Darkness is the one that really drops leadership. Yeah, that could be useful. Aspect of the Dread Knight is plus leadership and can cause terror and fear on units that can already do that pretty much always. Okay, yeah, Soulblight. Soulblight's a good debuff. We can at least begin to learn the Purple Sun here. And let's get some recruits. So, don't have access to great regiments of renown. We knew that. Don't have a ton of allegiance with either of my allies. That's a little tricky. We will have access to the global recruitment pool, although we only have 3 slots in it. And Mount Lee has no recruitment buildings, so this is going to be a little tricky to put together. Also, we don't really... So, is this Fuchao territory over here? It is. Okay. So Fuchao does have bonus. It has a better raised dead pool. So we can maybe not quite fill this army up. Just go over there like halfway built and then try to salvage stuff from the good recruitment pool. All right, I'm leery of sitting here for more than 2 turns. Let's grab some cannons and some deck gunners. Sure, that's that's rough, y'all. And then, like, what else? We can pick up something here. We could grab a warp lightning cannon, have a third siege weapon. Does that make sense? Like, what else would I want? I would want... We could pick up a gun team. Rattling guns are... they're a curious sort of gun team. Certainly very powerful, though. I wonder if that would be better. Because, like, the lasers are fine, but they don't shred infantry the way... Yeah, we'll grab a unit of Rattling Gunners. And then... Is there anything interesting from the Oracles at all? It's like normal Norskin Marauders, but with shielding. Yeah, we have to let the allegiance build up a little bit before we can recruit cool stuff from them. And what? I don't really have any other pools to... Yeah. I mean, maybe we should grab, like, just somebody to fill up the spaces for the moment. These are pretty cheap units. I'm, like, actually quite worried. And, you know, Free Company at least will handily win fights against, like, skeletons and zombies. And should I pull stuff from the raised dead pool? I would usually do this at the end of the process for the purpose of, you know, paying the upkeep as little as possible. But should I grab units out of the raised dead pool right now to represent a greater threat to make them less likely to put pressure on the city? And I think the answer might be yes. Like, let's grab those. Those are the best units in this pool for sure. And then, like, deckhands are rough, y'all. I really, really, really don't like. How big is their bonus versus infantry? 3 points. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth it. Honestly. Whatever. We're just filling up space. We're just trying to make the enemy a little nervous to move in. We won't be able to recruit any heroes here. We don't have any hero recruitment structures. All right. Let's see what that looks like. I am not confident. Annie can catch up with Alberic.
My holy vow. No.
Gosh, this army. This is a pretty advanced Bretonnian force, I have to say.
All bones on deck.
Yeah, okay. Let's have
It is your decision.
let's have Annie press from this side.
Swiftly now.
This should be no problem. We have the numbers to make this a really easy fight. He's probably just gonna run,
Get them.
but I think we should have the speed to chase.
The galleon awaits. On the double.
Yeah, okay.
Deckhands, forward.
Just move back up the road a little bit.
Slay these cattle.
Okay. Casualties low. The deckhands are going to get it because that's how it goes. All right. A standard of discipline is like extremely whatever. Give me the money, I think.
Side of the blade.
Plus 15 melee attack when fighting at sea, just for Robert. No bonus for the army as a whole. Just not, in my opinion, not one of the better traits. Okay, that's still got 3 turns left.
The sea brings death.
Robert, what should we do with... You should probably pick up the hunger... Oh, you don't have Arcane Conduit yet. Never mind. We got to do that. You know what? I'll pick up Arcane Conduit and then the hunger. And then we can start learning more spells.
The crew are restless.
And Annie... We weren't doing anything in particular with Annie, were we? Well, loyal to the end is good to have, you know? I just don't want to ever have to think about loyalty again. And you were grabbing this. Okay. How much movement do you have left?
Plunder.
What is your demand?
All right, I think what we're going to do is position ourselves
Shipmates.
to put pressure on these dudes over here. My guess is Choli is just going to sail away, right? Leonie Everstone might attempt to hold Sorcerer's Islands, but also might just flee. Yeah, I could really see either. All right, are we good? Is there anything that still needs to be built? Thalia can upgrade its money-making structure. Of course. Of course we would. And then... I'm going to go ahead and perform this right at the moment here, just to make sure we have a Queen Bess in the pool for whenever we might lose our existing one. It's in Pete's army, so it's not really in any danger. But also, our rights are just kind of sitting on cooldown. They're not really accomplishing anything for us at the moment. So yeah, the only part of this I'm really worried about is what's happening over here. I think we have like a 1 or 2 turn window where this could be really messy, especially if Henrietta turns out not to actually be within reinforcement range of Li Shu. So I guess let's see what happens.
Come on board. I'll guarantee.
What do you want? Still no. Still absolutely not. You are not a very good manipulator. I should probably not say things like that to them because they'll just use their powers to force us into the war the way they did earlier. At this point, I think it's very unlikely that anything Tzeentch does will matter to us. Our future is looking pretty short. At least I hope so. Bernhof du Bissendorf attacked and won against Miao Ying. And that happened during Miao Ying's turn. So there was an army in ambush mode in that pass. Which makes it had to be the case, right? Otherwise, where did all the flags go? Because, yeah, I would have assumed that there would still be 4 armies on that front. That said, them being able to generate 7 stacks seems a little... I don't know. The AI gets so many free resources on this... each AI player gets so many free resources on this difficulty that I guess it's possible. Especially if you're, willing to devote a really large amount of your resources to just... Or a really large amount of army space, rather, to just... skeletons and zombies, which have very low cost or functionally no cost, sometimes literally no cost, I believe. I don't remember who it is. One of the zombie factions can get either zombies or skeletons that are literally free. Or you know what? It might be a wider spread thing now. I haven't actually played the vampires since their rework. So let's see. I would give you fire attacks and bonus leadership to you, I guess. That doesn't change anything. We are in range of the reinforcement from the city, and it turns out it just doesn't matter. They have that many troops. Do I think I could make this work through brute force if we did a manual resolve? My concern here is the reinforcement times. All 3 of these armies are going to enter the battlefield at 30 seconds. But remember, because of the way that the battles are managed, you only get 40 units on the table at a time, right? So it would run the first 6 or 7 units out of each of them, which I guess means that they would get all their good troops. If I back up, they attacked us from roughly the west, right? If I back up, it's going to push me past Liju. I'm going to retreat. Where did that take us to? Yeah, it pushed us past Liju. All right, so they might be able to just attack and take Liju now, and that would not be a thing I could really stop. We'll figure it out. This is looking a little messy. Okay, they backed up one of the armies. They left 3 of the stacks forward. Robbie's not going to be actually ready to fight. Although 1 or more of these stacks may still be in reinforcement range. So we might be able to bring whatever Robbie has finished recruiting already into battle. Okay, Leonie's just going to flee. That's totally expected. Choli is also just going to run for it. And with us not having a dock there, a friendly dock there anymore, they might be able to get away with that. Okay, mission issued to defeat Adis in no, thank you. I think I will ignore that mission. That seems a mite unproductive. Well, okay, so Bellicor has disappeared. They're threatening Eilhart, so I'm going to go to Altdorf first, because we can reach it in 1 turn. May as well. Let's just knock this shit over. I'm realizing now we didn't actually have vision, so we didn't know for sure that this was empty.
No, not this.
But what do you mean, no?
Bloody your cutlass.
Every once in a while, Aranessa just decides she's in charge.
Salt and blood. We
All right.
fight.
Obviously, very straightforward there. Got a Crown of Command, which is extremely whatever.
We return to Santosa as legends.
Okay, yeah, Aranessa's got this well in hand. And where did those undead armies go? Did they must have also gone into ambush mode? What I might do here then is just have Pete sneak off into the trees here, and let's see if let's see if they reemerge to try to claim some of these empty settlements. On this side, Robbie is still pulling stuff from every slot of every recruitment pool that we have access to. Did anything get added to the raised dead pool? No, the battles didn't actually take place. Of course not. How close are we to being able to hire something interesting? This would let us... The 2 points of allegiance we earned over the turn break here would allow us to pull Screamers or Pink Horrors, which are the actual, like, pretty okay ranged units. I think we can do better, though. Screamers are weird. We haven't played as Siege. I don't have a lot of experience using these units. 26-22 looks like a pretty standard bat stat line, though, if I'm not mistaken. What do our bats? Huh. Our fell bats are shown as having 47 defense. That is not correct.
Where to?
I'm pretty sure bats don't have that kind. Last time I used a bat unit, it melted in melee combat with an archer. So it feels to me like that's probably not right. So these two are in channeling stance, which is allowing them to replenish. We can get our good ambush chance again. I just don't think, without us having access to lightning strike here, it feels unlikely to me that we would be able to launch a decent attack.
Such a thing is impossible.
Interesting. They are suffering really savage attrition because the vampire corruption in this area is actually quite low.
I have sailed the world.
And it doesn't affect us because we work with the living all the time.
Get moving.
All right, I'm going to move back up here and just go into ambush stance.
Waylaying.
My hope is that we can bait them into attacking Li Zhu while we still have the ability to just jump in. Do I want to pull one more unit just so that we are at full? Well, again, I didn't really actually answer the question. How far are we from something that would be worth recruiting? Like, obviously, a unit of Chaos Knights or something would be cool, which we could get at 20. Okay, we get basic Chaos Knights at 18, Specialists at a little bit higher. We can get Cavalry a little higher than that. At 18, they have Flamethrowers, which are fun, but probably not actually all that good in our composition. So we're looking at like 20 at least before we could get, or 18 rather. So 2 turns before we could get something that we would actually want, which means we're not going to do that. I guess I'm going to pull these things in just so this is a full-sized army. Try to make attacking as unattractive as possible here. But I really need to have at least 2 stacks to counter with. Also, I should probably put some of these guys in. Let's see. Sarabi can't be an enforcement admiral, which is actually kind of a shame because the personal combat stats would be nice. We could grab... None of that stuff's relevant. None of any of this is relevant. And this requires rank 10. Ugh. That's awkward. Having the captain gain, frenzy and physical resistance is a significantly better contribution to the army's, solo attack capacity than any of these other offices would be. I'm going to put Robert King in this slot. It does something for us, I guess. And we're just going to wait. Robbie's going to be the Fleet Enforcement Admiral when he gets there. We're close. Okay, and I think that's really all we can do over here for the moment. All there is to do of value. So let's jump over to this side, where I think we have to ask the question of whether or not it is worth pursuing them.
Wipe them out.
Obviously, retaking my island is going to be trivial.
Bring more bones on deck.
Gonna have to rebuild now because that's
Right.
annoying. Now that we have access
All
to...
aboard.
Oh, I can just ride out there and kill Cho Li.
Prepare boarding.
Yeah, that'll work. Let's go get some free stuff.
Sair of the night.
Drop anchor. Or we fight.
People really are not. They just do not have the ability to get away from us on the water. We are so fast.
Yes?
If I were to go into full sail, we wouldn't be able to make it home.
This will achieve nothing.
So we're stuck in a position where Leonie Everstone is able to attack us if she wants to.
Navigating.
If we lost Annie's army, all the characters are immortal already, right? Yeah,
I don't care for this order.
it wouldn't be too bad. This army is entirely sort of like mid-tier infantry, or like low-tier infantry, actually. The battle pilgrims and the foot squires are real. They have a unit of Sora spears with shields. They do have a siege weapon. I don't know. It's actually not a terrible force. I think Annie's army would stand up to it, though.
All
All right,
set.
let's level you up. Are we good on your magic line? That's right. We were just about to start earning Kraken's Pull, which I think we ought to do. Oh, the Galleon's Graveyard continues to grow slowly without me paying any attention to it at all. And also to defend itself, which is nice because I have no spare attention right now. Okay, yeah. So close to stomping out both of our vampire threats. I guess we're a little further on the eastern one than I would like to be. All it's really going to take is like one, maybe two mistakes. One or two missteps or oversteps from the Caravan of Blue Roses for us to be able to jump them and push through that first settlement, and then they won't be able to put anything together quickly enough to stop us from taking the other settlement. But we do, because of their vastly superior numbers, we do have to catch them out somewhere. I was really hoping the Western provinces were going to be able to help us. And they just fell into the world's most obvious ambush and they'll probably never have another army over here. It's fine. We'll just save the entire world. Not because I'm particularly into world saving, but because if there is no world, then where am I going to do my plundering? And at this point, we are registering as, like, maybe the most powerful force in the world? Gosh, maybe the Barrow Legion just doesn't have any armies. Maybe both of their other armies west of the mountains got destroyed in some way. Okay, Ronald Rigak did not see through the ambush, and so is forfeit. We are definitely going to eliminate the Barrow Legion this turn. They saw through my ambush again, because 100% doesn't mean the same thing for them as it does for us. Alright, reinforcements come in and totally clean this up. Yeah, and all we lose is deckhands and the units that explode when they attack. I do not think that this is a very sound strategy for them to only bring 2 of their armies in. I guess they were thinking they wanted to get the full stacks on the battlefield, but
The dead will fight.
this is that thing I was talking about, the error.
Master.
All right, and then they try again, and we still have all of the reinforcement troops. Like, you're wearing the city down slowly. Okay, so this is smarter. This time they had somebody siege the city so that those units are unavailable for the fight, and then go after Henrietta directly. Do I think I can win this even with the damage we've taken? This is an insane amount of damage to have taken from those auto-resolves, frankly. but I don't love it, honestly. I'm a little worried that if we retreat, it's going to push us out of friendly territory, so we won't heal at the beginning of our turn, which would slow us down. But I think we probably lose this battle. Yeah, I'm gonna try to err on the side of caution here. Gosh, it really did run me away. Holy hell. Yep, and at this point, they have pushed us off. Okay. And they still have full other stacks. Wait, did they not take it? No, they left it under our control, which means that the territory around it is still mine. No, go to hell. I don't even know who you are, Azazel. Whatever, we'll kill them. That's fine. I mean, no, we won't kill them. What we will do is ignore them and stay far away from them. Because, like, as soon as we're done burning down the zombies, these troops, Pete and Aranessa, are out of here. There's no reason for us to care about what goes on in this part of the world. Alright, Leonie does not have any interest in going after Annie. I think that's probably the right play on their part. Let's see if she sailed far enough away to get, to escape us. Oh, cool. Henrietta's getting even better at ambushing. Irrelevantly. Okay. Robbie Rogers gained a bunch of levels and then was horribly killed in battle. Wendy has finally respawned. Orcs and stuff, whatever, etc.
Now we're talking. Get my hook.
Let us remove Eilhart. Oh, do you not? Yeah, that is a lot of movement because that forest route is very expensive. Okay.
More bodies washed down.
Next turn. Wow, Roland Rigak gained a lot of units at the end of his own turn. Sadly, they are all raised dead units, so they're garbage. Yep, just a shit ton of dogs and zombies. All right, so you are dead. And I think that means they have actually no armies left based on the size of their power bar, which means I think we're cool to just get off of this landmass.
I smell blood and gold.
Aranessa for sure has the other thing under control. So, yeah, later. Later, friends.
You smell like bilge water.
Okay, can't get our non-aggression pact back yet. That's fine. We don't really need it. Ooh. Elves.
Is the sea.
Okay, they did follow us up here. Perhaps egress is going to be slightly more complicated than I thought. And yeah, they left us in control of Li Zhu, which means she did get healed because we are technically still in range. So that's cool.
I'll have your soul.
Wagner Richterlos is sailing south and is in full sail mode, so we could just jump him if we want.
Vampire.
Obviously, I'm not feeling awesome about the amount of healing we have here, or the amount of units we have left. But we could like raise dead a couple of bodies, just go back up to 20, and then
Never.
you've advanced far enough forward. We probably ignore Wagner. As much as I hate to just like let him sail off and settle somewhere else, which is exactly what he's planning on doing. I think we have other problems to worry about. More pressing concerns. And they managed to run this one army way ahead of everything else. At least I think so. Hold on. This isn't another ambush situation, is it? No, I think they legitimately only had 3 armies over here. I don't know what the fuck this force is doing. 5 units with only Yeah, wow.
The crew are restless.
5 units with a real dearth of bodies. I guess, yeah, let's just pull in some rifles and some random... No sense going into battle understacked. And with the healing we took there, so all of our crabs are at full and everything, I think we are probably able to kill this army, which will blunt their force a little bit. It is probably not worth trying to fix Liju or to begin recruiting again.
Attack the car.
But let's at least break this down. Okay, it'll give me the low decisive, which I appreciate.
I am your mistress. Landfolk are weak.
There was, in fact, another army nearby, nearer by than I was expecting. I think we just didn't have vision of them, I guess.
I'll have your soul.
And I mean, this force is weakened enough that we can definitely kill them. This might be one where we have to do it manually to avoid losing our injured units. Is it worth doing it manually anyway? The casualties should be really, really low. I might want to do this one manually in any case, just to like maintain as best we can. We don't want to see like a This is a battle where manually I'm confident we can take it with basically no damage, whereas auto resolve, you know, you might just see the Necrofex Colossus lose 3/4 of its HP for no reason or something. Ugh, is this them starting on top of a hilltop? Nothing can ever run my way, right? But we'll knock this out, and then we'll probably have to back off. But that blunts their forward assault at least a little bit. Sadly, it does not maintain access to the port, which they will probably either conquer or raise on their turn. And I don't think we can stop that from happening. We're too injured. I wish we had one more settlement in the area. Alright, I know y'all have Vanguard deployment, but you're not going to use Vanguard deployment. It's very uneven territory. It's kind of weird. Like, what's the plan? Do I post the rifles up here? I guess so. Yeah, alright. Basically, everybody just get real close to the front, and we'll figure it out afterward. Yeah. Alright, so everything that's direct fire, kind of post. Maybe I start a little bit further out here. Yeah, something like this. Post like this. In theory, these units need to remain close-ish, but I don't think it's going to matter very much. You're just not participating in combat, I think. Because all the real melee work is going to be done by the crabs anyway. Yeah. And one thing worth noting is that almost all of our units have this aquatic trait that rarely matters, but does matter here. Which means that we don't take the ordinary movement penalty for being in water, because usually units are slower and less maneuverable when they're in shallow water. That's what this this icon near our mouse cursor is supposed to represent.
At once!
All right, excellent work from our cannon there. I'm gonna just drop a unit of hold you in place right here. That didn't really work. All right. Change of plans. Crab's just kind of like directly forward. I think we're not. They came at us way more directly than I thought they would, in a way that I do not think is a good play for them. I guess y'all should focus on the Grave Guard. You're certainly not. The mortars are not going to be able to hit their lord. And then the rest of you should turn and shoot down the Terrorgeist, who is not their lord. I don't know why I was thinking he was. And you can Hornswoggle the Vargulf, I guess? And then also activate your Sword of Anti-Heroes. And, yeah, commit some murders. Commit some real quick murders here. Do I want to... We have 19 winds of magic. We can't use spells like the Invocation of Nehek to replenish people up higher than their starting point in the combat. So... yeah, I guess we want to wait a little bit before we do any real casting. I believe stuff like the Hunger will allow you to end up higher than you started. I might want to actually bring him up. Where the hell's all the gunfire? Okay, we're not really getting any gunfire, I'm noticing. I was really hoping they'd be able to fire at least a little bit at that thing before it came down, but there was a lot of hesitation. Oh, these are the fake deckhands, right? I was like, why are they disintegrating? What is going on with them? But it's because they're fake units. All right, let's go ahead and cast a nice big invocation on our units that are in combat. Go ahead and replenish some of that HP. And then while that's running, we will drop some more summoned deckhands in here. Okay. There we go. No meaningful damage. Losses 2. Would we have gotten that clean of a result from the auto-resolver? Maybe. The thing about this game's auto-resolver is that that's really frustrating is the inconsistency of it. A lot of other games have implemented this concept in ways that are less annoying, although I would hesitate to say better. Like, for example, in the Age of Wonders game that came out recently, and I think this is the case in the Age of Wonders going back some considerable ways. First of all, the auto-resolver actually simulates the battle, which the Total War auto-resolver does not. The Total War auto-resolver just does some math, and so you end up getting a much different result than you would even if you ran the battle, but put all of the units on AI function. But also, in Age of Wonders, when you auto-resolve a battle, you get the results, and then you can choose to play the battle out anyway if you're unhappy with the results. I like that a lot in terms of time saving. I dislike it in terms of making your strategic decisions more meaningful. Like, I kind of like that there's a risk to hitting the auto-resolve button in this game. That said, there are certainly times when I just don't have time for the risk. Okay, so they're gonna have to bail now.
No, mortal. No.
Odavon Sinclair is close enough. Can I get close to Li Shu with a full speed? I can.
Cease.
Okay, and I don't think they can punish us for that. So I think what we do is run over to Li Shu. Go ahead and hit repair. Hire a new lord. Are these going to be the same lords that we saw before? I already don't remember, honestly. What we're looking for here is murderer. No, not murderer. You know, the one that does the thing that we want. Which, yeah, instigator. Well, another one of the half-mast brothers has appeared.
Admiral of the fleet.
I think that there is no good reason not to just do the same thing here. We've actually gained money, a considerable amount of money, since we did this last time. I think I might want to upgrade Soulblight instead of Doom and Darkness. The raised Deadpool, sadly, is very, very destroyed.
Another victory.
But let's try to put together an army. Something resembling an army. Probably not doing any of that. So yeah, actually, it's gonna be pretty sad. Tiny, tiny little force. Again, once we can get across this, the gap here, we can maybe pull from that superior raised Deadpool. So that might help.
The fleet.
Do we want to give chase? I want to give chase a little bit. We should be able to get vision of them, at least, and then we can really make the decision. They went kind of this way, right? Gosh, maybe we're not able... There we go. Okay, you're not actually in attack range. So I guess I will just turn around.
Full speed ahead. Keelhauls.
All bones on deck.
We probably don't need Robert here. I'm going to have Robert head out to the north.
Ship shape. Standing by.
Annie will keep this stuff safe, but I think we have exhausted all of the attackers that were coming at us at this point. The damage they did is mostly cosmetic.
Follow the salt spikes.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just sail you up to Magritta for to cover.
Fleet captain reporting.
And Wendy's here, but Wendy has no utility. At this point, this army accomplishes nothing. Or this hero accomplishes nothing. We don't even really have a place where it would make sense to fold her into an army because all of our lords, except for Aranessa, can already cast. So I think I'm just gonna disband her. I don't want to manage her. Okay. So next turn, Isleheart goes down, and that's the end of the Barrow Legion. It's just a matter of figuring out how we're going to survive this other thing. I will absolutely put together another army following the one that we just built so that we can have 3 stacks over there if that is what it takes. And I think the treasury will hold. Maybe what I should be doing with Annie is having her sail southwest to try to get down to here so that we can use the teleporter. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what Aranessa and Pete are about to do, but like it's a long trip no matter how you run it. So there is a teleporter that's like right over here, right on the other side of the narrowest part of that continent. Maybe it would actually be faster to just sail west. The problem with that is that doing that takes us directly across Hexawatl, or at least it takes us across where the Hexawatl player starts. We don't really know what the situation is like over there, but I believe we are still at war with Hexawatl. I was not paying attention when their turn passed just now. Yeah, I believe we're still at war with them though, so like that obviously could have some complications. It also requires us to sail right past Ulthuan, which might be a greater problem. Yeah, I might have Robert sail for Galleon's Graveyard instead. I just saw an Eotanian ship leave Ulthuan, but I don't know where it was going. So it's a little tricky to guess where we need to head to play defense on that. Gosh, I hope the thing we just saw over there was an agent and not an army. Wow. Really? Did they just like forget that I'm right here?
And draw your blades.
What on earth was that? They seem a tad confused. Okay, sure. The deckhand can die, that's fine. They definitely can't get into range to I don't know what the hell that was. And it especially means those two armies can't escape. So we get ourselves a little bit of healing here. And then we're in position to maybe draw some blood, although they're gonna mass up like this, which is frustrating. Yeah, I just need a little bit of extra help. I just need like one more stack. So this is Pete's plan. Pete's plan is to try to find a way to evade our enemies and get the hell over here. When it's finally our turn again, I want to look around a little bit. If we can find a secondary place, if we can find one more settlement to gain control of. Leonie, what are you doing? Annie Salt Spray is still in the area, but I guess Leonie probably can't see her. Yeah, let's have a quick look over there. We picked up some garbage. Maragliano caught a plague. That's extremely whatever. Pete Wakefield's army has gained some defense for a while for no reason. All right, first things first.
I must. For war and plunder. Burn it.
Is that faction eliminated? It is not. So they still have an army or a settlement somewhere.
Valiant Lord.
No, let me scroll. Here we go. Vampire counts. Okay, it's not a settlement. So yeah, they do have an army somewhere then. When I click on Camilleria, it doesn't zoom us anywhere, so we have no knowledge of the army. We just know that this player is not eliminated. That's a little annoying. Once again, my Necrofex Colossus took an absurd amount of damage. It's not, the characters alone are not enough to keep them alive. I have no idea where their army would be though. I think I'm just gonna head over here and get in the water. The elves took a, I don't know what the elves are doing. It's, hold up.
Even the Law Master could not.
Do I want to fight that?
I cannot rewrite reality.
You intercept, Admiral of the Fleet.
So Pete has no movement in ambush mode.
By your will.
Far beneath an archmage.
I can get out of movement range of either of them in March mode.
March, you dead girl!
So I know I'm not attackable here.
You spineless bags.
Yeah, and I guess it's going to be a little bit of a dance to get him free.
I'd with her first.
No,
Okay, these armies are both like,
Do not mistake me for the fool.
This army is fairly real. It's got a very strange composition. I would describe it as fairly real. Henrietta is basically at full,
It's your decision.
which is certainly cool. We are trying desperately to... Gosh, I don't know. I don't know if any of this... Yeah, this skill point doesn't matter. Trying desperately to get to Lightning Strike, which would help us out a little bit here. And old Tom Bloodletter is getting stronger by the moment.
Mistake.
My thirst.
So we can attack you on the water. The balance of power bar there is a lie, for sure. There is no way it's going to represent us as being that much more powerful.
Cease.
This army is not good, though, to be clear. And we definitely will beat them one-on-one. I'm wondering... They've run forward... Enough forces here that I'm thinking that Liju probably can't be defended anymore.
Knows my fate. Blood kiss of the seas.
Especially since we won't be able to get the second level of it back up ever.
Undead raiders.
So is there a settlement around here that doesn't belong to this player? No, there isn't. All right, I really don't want to go to war with the Western Kingdoms. We are friendly but rapidly deteriorating. I was wondering if we could get them on side and then have them, have them agree to a little bit of direction. What if I sailed right up to Beichai? What if I just tried to skip all of this stuff? Because this has got to be the vast majority of their force, right? If we could get to Beichai and knock it down, we could take away a lot of their ability to generate powerful units. They'd still be able to make Graveguard.
I refuse.
But armies of just Graveguard are not nearly as dangerous to us as these armies that have like some Flyers and some Vargulfs.
The galleon awaits.
Such a thing is impossible. Such a thing is impossible.
So you could make it out to like there. We're so fast in the water that I'm wondering,
I have sailed the world.
at full speed,
Get shambling.
we could stay far enough east that we're just out of their movement range, and then rush Beichai. The problem is we don't have any idea whether Beichai has armies at it, but it can't, right? Like, in actuality, they can't even be running as many forces as they're running here. This is way more money than they have access to. There's definitely no way they have more stuff. Because if we don't do something pretty drastic, we're going to be stuck in this loop forever until we can get another force over here via teleporter. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, we're actually at the hour, so I think what I'm going to do is use this as an opportunity to just think about this for a little bit. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time for a fully singular focus. We have one problem now, and maybe not a huge number of solutions available to us, but we are going to figure this out. And we'll see you then.